What's up, Trader's Edge? It's Mark Sebastian, your only option, and this is your week in review. I'm going to go through what happened, how the different indexes moved, talk a little about the levels they're trading at. We're going to look at the VIX and volatility, and we'll look at a couple of stocks that were in the news, and I'm going to share the shadiest paper I've seen in months. So with that, let's dig in. All right, so on Friday, the market looked like it was going to completely boom higher. At a certain point, the S&P 500 was up over 65 points. It closed the day up 30. So what had been the trend this week? Well, Wednesday, the rising tide lifts all boats was the trend. S&P was up, Dow Jones was up, the NASDAQ 100 was up, the Russell 2000 was up. Thursday was the rebalance. Russell 2000 up big, Dow up, S&P equal weight. For those of you who don't know, S&P equal weight, ticker symbol RSP. Imagine I put $100 in every single stock in the S&P 500 instead of cap weighting, which means the more valuable your company, the more of the index you are. So with RSP, we're putting $100 in every stock. All right. So that blew up on Thursday as well. Then Friday looked like it was going to be rising tide lifts all boats again, and kind of was. But if you watch, the Russell 2000 closed up well north of 1%, and RSP, that equal weight, closed up over 1% as well. Meanwhile, at the end of the day, there was an absolute drubbing of the SPX and the NASDAQ 100. They went up from up over 1% to basically up about 0.5%. They took a 50 basis point drop in about 30 minutes. One, the Russell 2000 didn't participate, and really RSP didn't participate in very much either. So it was still a little bit rising tide lifts all boats, but we saw money stay in RSP and in the Russell 2000 and kind of bail on the triple Q. So what stocks were kind of bailed on? Well, take a look at what happened to Meta on Friday. It got absolutely destroyed. Continued the sell-off. All right. We saw Microsoft sell off. Amazon. So we continued to see some of these names drop. All right. Apple did manage to stay green, but was not up nearly as much as it had started that day. And NVIDIA, kind of a similar story. They really came for NVIDIA at the end of the day. It's holding that 21-day moving average, but that sucker could get pasted. Now, let's talk about the Russell 2000 because that had itself a day. Now, it did pull back, but look at that gap. I mean, it really had itself a nice day. You could argue, hey, that's a inverse hammer. That's not great. But the way I see things, there's still some real potential upside in the Russell 2000. It's just been doing so bad. I mean, think about this. If you bought the Russell 2000 on April 11th, up until 2 days ago, you weren't making money. That's just something to keep your eye on. All right, now let's turn the page and look at the VIX. The VIX looked like it wanted to break 11, break back into 11 at the lows. Caught a bit at the end of the day, and VIX futures term structure, while still bullish. Now July expires in only a couple of days on the 17th, but we did get a nice lift. And one thing I want you to pay attention to is this kink. There is a trade that I'm going to be talking about in Trading Desk around this kink. And that's going to be a lot of fun for me to kind of play with. Another area where this kink is going to come into play is in two-way trades. The two-way trades are really going to be able to take advantage of what we're seeing in this kink right now. All right. So what am I looking at for the week ahead? let's talk about a couple more things that I'm looking for the week ahead. So for the week ahead, I got to tell you, I think the S&P is going to come back to the 21-day moving average. I'll get more to that, maybe not next week, but I'll get more on that. And I want you to keep an eye on Taiwan Semiconductor. They report earnings on the 18th. That's the first major tech one. That's one to keep an eye on. Now, I want to tell you about the dirtiest trade that I have seen in some time. I'm going to take you in the Wayback Machine, all in a stock called ABR, Arbor Realtor Trust. On Friday, a trader bought the 85 and 95 puts, or the September 15 puts for 85 and 95 cents. Nice buy. Then look what happened on Friday. The stock got absolutely destroyed. One of the better, I wonder what's up that I've seen in a while. The puts they bought for 95 cents on Friday or on Thursday closed at over $3 on Friday. Just an absolute crazy trade. All right, my next video, I will be back with your look at the week ahead. All right, everybody, I'm Mark Sebastian, your only option. Hey, if you're watching me on YouTube, like and subscribe. You heard me mention two-way trades. If you want to know what that is and what that's about, two-way trades are something Andrew and I have developed. It's been a great way of navigating this market. You can click this link to watch the video about it. Andrew and I discussing the whole topic. It's going to be worth your time. You're watching me on YouTube. It's in the description. All right, everybody. I am Mark Sebastian, your only option. Have a good one.